Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria. If you're new here, welcome. Today's yoga practice is called movement medicine. This is a really sweet practice that's designed so that however you're showing up today, however you're feeling, whatever is happening in your life, you're able to practice self-care and find a bit of healing and release through the movement practice. All that you'll need for this class is yourself and someplace to move. And whenever you're ready, let's get into it. We'll get started today from child's pose. So find your way there, bring your toes to touch, spread your knees wide, and then walk your fingertips forward, bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat. And take a moment to settle in here. You can sway the hips side to side, maybe walk your fingertips a little bit more forward, and then drop everything, getting cozy into gravity, and let your muscles and your bones feel really heavy. And start to connect with your breath. Close your eyes if they're not already. Take a big, deep inhalation that radiates from the base of your spine all the way up through your fingertips. And then take a big sigh out of your mouth. As you sigh, can you feel even heavier? Drop even more into your space and into your body. Another big inhalation through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, drop, release, clear anything that you're holding right now that maybe you don't need to be. And you can continue sighing, clearing, releasing as many times as you need. And then when you're ready, start to breathe in and out through your nose. And this breath, Ujjayi Pranayama, creates a sound quality like ocean waves. Allow the breath to be audible. Allow it to be soothing. Soften the space behind your neck. Soften your palms down into the mat, removing any tension in your fingers. And relax your forearms, relax your elbows. Now send the breath down your spine into your hips, massaging the hip creases, allowing the sitting bones to rest closer to your heels. And take one last moment here just to ask yourself how you're doing. This might be how you're doing physically, how you're doing mentally, how you're doing emotionally or spiritually, or maybe at every one of those levels. And blink your eyes softly open and start to shift forward to a tabletop. Hands and knees, but keep your toes connected behind you. So we're still in the child's pose shape in the lower body. Take an inhale, stretch your sitting bones toward the back of your mat as you draw your hips back toward your heels, but reach forward through your heart, keeping the spine long. Exhale here. As you inhale, start to round forward, hugging your belly button up toward your spine and then shifting back to hands and knees. As you exhale, lift your tailbone skyward, sitting bones drag back toward your heels, reach your heart forward towards your thumbs. Inhale, wash forward, hands and knees, the spine is rounded. Exhale, glide it back, hips come toward your heels, reach forward through your heart and your gaze. Inhale. And exhale, glide back. One more right here. Breathe through your full spine. And exhale, glide back. Come to hands and knees. Tabletop. This time you can parallel your shins. Tuck your toes behind you and then press into your palms to lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Let downward facing dog be a place where you check in with your body as we move through this practice. So notice how this first one of your day maybe feels. You can breathe through all the lines, bending one knee and then the other as you press the opposite heel toward the earth. Maybe start with the legs wider, especially if the back line of your legs is feeling tight today. Or maybe the knees stay micro bent or even more deeply bent. It's okay if the heels are floating. They do not need to be pressing down to the earth. And then send your breath up and down your spine. Every time that you inhale, it's like you're pulling energy, pulling the breath up from your hands and your feet to the core of your pelvis, tipping your tailbone higher toward the sky. And then every time you exhale, create buoyancy by driving down more firmly into the space between your thumbs and your index fingers. As you inhale, lift your heels, rise to the balls of your feet, then round forward to high plank. As you exhale, sink your knees down to the mat. And then create a curve through your spine, arcing your heart forward like a cow tilt, the butt's reaching back. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower your chest and your chin all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet down, and then ripple all the way through to a little cobra. So float your hands away from the earth, shoulder blades hug together at the back of your heart. Keep the tops of your feet and your toenails digging down. The pelvis is heavy, so the pubic bone is rooted, and then the heart is light, lifting forward. One more inhale here. As you exhale, plant your palms down, tuck your toes, and then glide back, hips toward the heels. Active child's pose. Heart is stretching to the top of your mat. Inhale, rounded spine, hands and knees. Exhale, glide back to downward facing dog. The hips lift up and back. Drive down into your hands. Inhale, lift your heels. Wash forward, high plank. Exhale, melt your knees to the mat as they connect. Create the arc in your spine. Stretch your heart forward, lift your gaze. Exhale, elbows bend, heart and chin lower to the mat. Let's pause and breathe here for 2 rounds. Try to let your hips float right over your knees. Good. Untuck your toes. Drive your feet into the mat. Then ripple through your spine to pull forward into a little cobra. Heart is lifted. Hands are lifted. Press your feet down. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your palms. Tuck your toes. Drag the hips back toward the heels. Reach your heart forward. Inhale, hands and knees. Round your spine. Exhale, ride your breath back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, wash forward, high plank. As you exhale, lower your knees to the mat. Inhale, cow, lift your heart, lift your tailbone. Exhale, heart and chin lower to the mat. 2 breaths here. Allow the back of your heart to be heavy toward the earth. Untuck your toes, ripple forward, baby cobra. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your hands. Exhale, plant your palms, tuck your toes, press back, active child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees, wash forward. Exhale, glide back, downward facing dog. Take a pause, take a moment here. Noticing the effects of your movement so far. Maybe downward facing dog is starting to feel a bit more open, a bit more expansive, like all your vertebrae are stretching away from each other. Good. Inhale, lift your heels. This time, spin both of your heels to face the right side of your mat. Bend both of your knees. Anchor your right heel and the outer edge of your right foot to the earth. So the big toe is staying rooted as well. Left heel can stay lifted. Then press your heart back towards your thighs as you stack the left hip over the right. Maybe rise to your left fingertips. Maybe walk them a little bit more forward to deepen the side body stretch here, breathing between your ribs, creating more space. And come back through center, downward facing dog. Inhale. Lift your heels. Send both of your heels over to the left side of your mat. Root your left heel. Keep the right one lifted. Press down and forward into your hands, and then begin to stack the right hip over the left as you reach your heart toward your thighs. Keep the back of your neck long. Crown of your head is reaching toward your thumbs. Maybe come up to the right fingertips. Maybe walk them more forward. You can play, explore this shape in your own body, and find where you feel this beautiful stretch into the right side body. Good. Back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale to sigh it out, release. On your next inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky, then stack the right hip over the left, bend your knee, draw your heel towards your sitting bone. You can stay here or option to lower the left forearm to the mat as well. If you do so, press your forearm down and forward. Keep a micro bend into your left knee. Pause for one more inhale. See if you can stretch the outer edge of your right leg higher to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, square your hips, lift your left forearm if it was lowered, lift your left heel, and then round all the way forward, drawing right knee to your chest to step the right foot to your right thumb. Keep the left knee lifted. As you inhale, float your fingertips up high to the sky, crescent lunge. As you exhale, circle your arms out wide and then press your palms forward. Torso comes to your right thigh. Exhale. 2 more like this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, big circle with your arms. Press forward like you're releasing, pressing away anything that you don't need right now. Inhale. Exhale, you can sigh with an open mouth here if you'd like. Good. Root your left palm down to the earth. As you inhale, stretch your right fingertips up toward the sky. Easy twist. Keep pressing into your left hand so that you can revolve the left ribs toward the right as your belly button stays hugging towards your spine and the feet are magnetized, creating buoyancy in the pelvis. Inhale here. Exhale, roll to the knife edge of both of your feet. You can crawl your right foot away from the top of the mat to create more space. Then breathe into your hips as you press your pelvis high to the sky. Outer left hip is drawing away from the earth. Stay here or reach your right arm over your ear. Breathe. One more big inhale, create more length. As you exhale, drop your right palm down to the earth, pivot on your feet and spin to a wide-legged forward fold, facing the left side of your mat. The feet are slightly pigeon-toed, press into the knife edges of both of your feet. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift, elongate your spine. Then as you exhale, just bow forward. Heart comes to the earth. Crown of your head is stretching toward the earth. Your stance might be a bit wider, might be a bit more narrow. And then feel free to play here. Explore your body, explore the space. Bend into one knee and then the other. And let your spine glide from side to side. Take one more inhale. Find a halfway lift. As you exhale, pivot to face the back of your mat. The left leg is forward, right leg goes back. Drop your right knee to the earth behind you. As you inhale, find kneeling warrior. Stretch your fingertips up high to the sky. As you exhale, just sink and settle here. Reach your heart higher. You can untuck your back toes or leave them tucked, however feels best to you. Stay or begin to go for a little back bend. Draw your shoulder blades together, cactus your elbows, lift your heart high to the sky. Exhale, circle your fingertips down to the top of the mat. Root them there. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then step back, downward facing dog. Left foot can float or just take a nice step back. As you inhale, lift your heels, wash forward to high plank. As you exhale, sink your knees, curve through your spine, and then melt your heart and your chin to the earth. Pause here. And this time, maybe interlace your fingers at the base of your spine and start to draw the heels of your hands to touch. Micro bend your elbows and then reach your knuckles toward the sky, creating big chest expansion, opening the heart space. Release your fingers back down to the earth. Step them wide, untuck your toes, and then ripple all the way forward to Cobra. This time, staying on your fingertips as the shoulder blades draw together at the back of your heart. Lift up. Big front body expansion here. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, lower your heart to the earth. Step your right arm out wide, like a T to the side. Left palm draws under your left shoulder. And then press down so that you can roll to the outer edge of your body on the right side, the right edge. Left toes step off the mat behind you, or you can stack the feet if you like. Breathe deeply through the front of your right shoulder. If you'd like a bit more, you can draw the sole of the right foot down to the mat as well. Stamp it flat. Lift your knees toward the sky. Stay here, or you can begin to circle through the left arm, opening into the left side of your chest as well. And these circles can be anything that you want, maybe cactus your elbow. You can take wrist circles. Good, and then when you're ready, come back through center, pour your body down to the earth, front body melts, and then the left arm extends out to the side, right palm under right shoulder, roll to the outer edge of your body, this time on the left side, right toes step back behind you, and breathe. Allow this side to be different than the first, so you might play with different options. Maybe it's feeling more open, maybe less open. Either way, try not to label it like that, but try to just notice the differences. And there's always something we can learn from the sensations in our body, from this communication between body and breath. Begin to circle through the right arm if you'd like. And then when you're ready, roll back through center. Melt your belly, your heart, and your chin to the earth. Plant your palms, tuck your toes. Either come through hands and knees or press up to plank. And then roll back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach your left leg high to the sky. Stack your hip, bend your knee. Stay or lower your right forearm to the earth. Drive it down, then reach your heart back for your right thigh as you stretch the outer edge of your left leg high to the sky. Keep left heel hugging in toward your sitting bone. Good, big inhalation, lift the right forearm, lift the right heel. As you exhale, softly, sweetly step the left foot forward toward your thumb. Keep the right knee lifted. As you inhale, fingertips rise to the sky, high crescent lunge. As you exhale, press forward through your palms. Heart reaches in the direction of your thumbs. Inhale, rise your torso high. Exhale, press forward. Feel both of your big toe mounds rooted to stabilize. Inhale, rise last time. Exhale, press forward. Open mouth, exhale, release. Drop your right palm down to the earth. As you inhale, lift your left fingertips high. Reach your gaze toward your left thumbnail. Create a revolution through your spine, but stay anchored through your feet. Left foot's pulling back, right foot's pulling forward without actually moving, this isometric engagement. Inhale. Exhale, roll to the knife edges of both feet. So your toes, all 10 of them, will point to the left side of your mat. And again, you can walk the left foot away from the top to create more space. Toes are flexed. Press back through the sole of your right foot. And then maybe reach forward through your left arm. Keep your shoulder plugging into your body and then stretch out past the edges of left fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, left palm circles down to the mat. Revolve, pivot on your feet to point all 10 of your toes now to the right side of your mat, the right edge. Toes spin slightly in, wide-legged forward fold. Again, take time to play here. Massage the breath through the lines of your body. See how liquid you can make your spine. And then let that flow down into your pelvis, down the lines of your legs, all the way into your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your fingertips forward to the original top of your mat. Pivot so that the right foot comes forward, left toes go back, and then sink your left knee to the earth. As you inhale, rise, kneeling warrior, Anjanayasana. Exhale, settle your pelvis down and forward. Even as the hips sink, the spine stays constantly elongating. Create a gentle back bend, whatever feels good to you. Cactus the elbows, lift your heart. And then circle your fingertips back to the top of the mat. Plant your palms, tuck your left toes, and step or glide back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your heels, round forward, high plank. Exhale, sink your knees, curve your spine, and then melt your heart and your chin. Pause. This time, interlace the fingers at the base of your spine. Stretch your knuckles up toward the sky and maybe curl your heels in towards your sitting bone. If you start to feel any crunching in your low back, come out and take one of the other options. Good. Untuck your toes, plant the tops of your feet down, fingertips out to the wide edges of your mat, then ripple forward. Cobra, inhale here. Exhale, release your heart down to the mat. Let's take 2 more oscillating cobras here. Inhale, rise. Hips are heavy, heart is light. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale. And this time, pause and play. You can make circles through your ribs. You can bend one elbow and then the other. Maybe take some circles with your neck and your head. And let everything start to feel more free. Influenced more by the breath than by what your mind tells you should be doing. And when you're ready, lower your heart and your chin to the mat. Left arm goes wide, right hand plants beneath your shoulder, and then let's roll it open so that the right foot, right toes step back off of your mat. Couple of easy breaths here. Take any variations that you like. Maybe take some arm circles. You can stretch the right fingertips forward. Or maybe they reach all the way around and back, searching for the left fingertips. And maybe they make contact, maybe not today, whatever. Roll back through center. Left hand steps under left shoulder, right arm goes wide. Roll to the outer edge of your body on the right side. You can drop your head, left toe step back behind you. And let the quality of your breath become even sweeter, elongating your inhales and elongating your exhales. And then let your breath touch the space of your body where you feel the sensation most intensely right now. probably through the right shoulder, maybe the chest, maybe the heart. Good. Roll back through center. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, press to high plank, either through hands and knees or just right up, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. From down dog, take an inhale, lift your heels. As you exhale, swivel both of your heels to the right side of your mat. Root the right heel, keep the left heel lifted. Press your right big toe into the earth, and then maybe lift onto the left fingertips. Maybe the left arm floats so that the bicep comes beside your ear. Stay here, or press more into right foot and right hand. Drive them into the earth and away from each other. See if you can float your left foot away from the earth. And maybe the right leg draws closer towards straight, contracting right side body, expanding left side body. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your heels, swivel your heels to the left side of the mat. The left heel anchors, left big toe is down, right heel lifts. Stay here, stack the right hip over the left. Maybe come to right fingertips. Maybe float the fingertips away from the earth, turning your body, revolving your body toward the right side of the mat. And then play with floating the right toes away from the earth as you drive down into the left hand and the left foot. Big rainbow arc into the right side of your body. Take one more inhale here. And an exhale to ride it back, downward facing dog. Sink your knees down to the mat. Let them be hips distance apart. And then walk your fingertips all the way forward and down. You can untuck your toes, finding Anahatasana, puppy pose. And so the heart is reaching for the mat, or maybe your forehead is down. Soften the space at the back of your heart. Imagine that it's something warm and melty so that you can really drip that space down to the mat. And relax your feet. Relax your hip creases. Breathe deeply into your low belly. Press down, walk your fingertips back underneath your shoulders, and then find your way to a seat. Spin your feet to the top of your mat, and then roll down to lie on your back. Walk your heels in, so close to your sitting bones that you can reach for them with your fingertips. We'll take either bridge or wheel, maybe both, whatever you feel like today. So press your feet into the earth. Imagine that there's a block between your inner thighs that you're hugging as you lift your pelvis and your hip points up toward the sky. If you're coming to bridge, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, supporting the back of your heart. Maybe interlace your fingers and press the pinky side of your hands into the earth. Stay here, breathe, expand. If you're going for wheel, bring your hands beside your head, fingertips pointing down toward your shoulders. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, drive down into the earth. Come first to the crown of your head, then magnetize your forearms and your elbows and lift up to wheel. Press the earth down through your hands and your feet. Affirm the connection between fingers, toes, and the mat beneath you. And then breathe more space, more sweetness, more opening into your heart. And wherever you are, begin to release. Lower back down the way that you came in softly, letting one vertebra at a time meet the mat. Take your arms out wide. Step your feet to the wide edges of your mat and lean your knees in on each other. Now the arms can stay wide, or maybe draw one to your low belly and one to your heart. And just feel your breath, feel your body. Lift your heels, draw your knees into your chest. Wrap yourself up into a tight hug. Forearms come around your shins. Take an inhale here. Exhale, Shavasana. Arms and legs wide, palms face up toward the sky. Soften the back of your head and the back of your heart. Pelvis is heavy, heels are rooted. Tuck your chin slightly toward your chest to elongate the back of your neck. And then just like we did at the beginning of this practice, see how much you can drop everything. Surrender to gravity. Notice if there are any muscles or any spaces in your body that are activating, that want to help hold you up. See if you can just send your awareness there, allowing them to soften, allowing complete, total release and relaxation and rest. You can stay here longer or start to become aware again of your sensations. Notice the full body tingly effect that results from the movement, the breath, the circulation. Take a big, full, deep inhale through your nose. And a big sigh out of your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then when you're ready, stretch out really long. Arms go back, toes point forward. Inhale. Exhale, roll to fetal pose. Whichever side you want to go to, drop your head, drop your hands. And press into the earth. Rise up to a seat. The eyes can stay closed. Knees widen, pelvis anchors, spine elongates. Bring your palms face up so the backs of your hands rest to your thighs. Close your eyes again if they're not. And take another moment to check in with yourself here. Notice any shifts from when we began this practice to now. Maybe they're subtle, maybe they're more obvious. Draw your palms together at your heart center. Take a moment to find gratitude for yourself, gratitude for this practice, for the medicinal effects of your movement. And then lift the thumbs to the third eye and bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sweet healing practice with me today. I hope that felt good. As always, if you have any thoughts or comments or questions, leave them for me down below. You can also subscribe to my channel down below as well. That really supports me. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. There's so much going on in the world right now, so take care of yourself. I'll see you soon in another practice. Bye.